Hi readers, it's Miss Brody coming to you with another lesson about reading fantasy books. Today we're going to talk about keeping track of story elements, which is a great skill that all readers really should do, especially when they're starting a new book. So hopefully before I go to the next slide, I want you to just think about what you know about the story elements. This is something you've heard your teachers talk about for a long time, so hopefully when you hear those words, story elements, a few things spring to mind. So let's just review those. What are the main story elements? And more specifically, aside from just naming them, what do we do with these story elements while we read? Well, the first ones, if you were thinking characters, you were right. But as we're heading into middle school, characters mean more than just one character or a couple characters. We really want to be paying attention to the major and minor characters in our books. We want to be thinking about their relationships. We also want to be noticing how they might be changing, and we even want to think about who has the power in the story. This is especially true when we read fantasy books. The next story element is one that we talked about already, and that is setting. That's something you should be noticing really right away, especially when reading fantasy, is we want to be thinking about the where and the when your story takes place. But again, more than that, we want to think about what's it like there? What's it feel? Another story element are problems, and that's a plural with an S, problems, because as our stories get more complex, we know that so do the problems that the characters face. So you want to start thinking about the different problems because they're going to be multiplying, and the plot, which is a fancy word for the sequence of events, is going to start going in different directions. And it might go in different directions for different characters. So again, things get more complicated. So we've got our characters, our setting, our problems, and then of course we have our solutions. And again, with a longer story, we might not have a solution right away, but it's never too soon to start predicting about what we think the solutions might be. And we might want to look for foreshadowing. And that's sort of a fancy word for the hints, the little clues that the author might be leading you down to hint at what a solution might be. And sometimes it might be leading you down the wrong way, sort of a red herring, as they say in mysteries, where they're trying to trick you a little bit. But again, those are our four main story elements that you should be trying to get a handle on as soon as you start reading. So what we're going to be doing today, as you can see a little bit from this background, is we're going to reuse the short story we read yesterday, the picture book, The Princess. Oh my goodness, I am literally the paper bag princess. It's having a little bit of a brain freeze right there. So we're going to use that story to show what this looks like, to be tracking our problems and solutions and our changes. So we have our characters that we want to be thinking about, and we want to think about their multiple problems, how they might have solved it or changed, and what happens at the end. So you'll see what I did here. Elizabeth was our first character. She had multiple problems. Some of her problems were that the dragon burns her castle and her clothes. Another problem she faced is that the dragon took Prince Ronald, who she had hoped to marry. And her third problem was that when she was first dealing with the dragon, he sort of ignores her and tells her to go away. What solutions did she have? Well, she follows the dragon wearing only a paper bag, and then the other solution is that she tricks him into using up all of his energy. And by the end of the story, she has really changed, and she has decided that Prince Ronald only cares about appearances, and she decides to dump him and not marry him. But there are other characters in this story, so let's think about them. We have Prince Ronald. What are his problems? Well, he gets carried off by the dragon, and there's another problem. Can anyone think of what that might be that I didn't add just yet? Well, another problem is not only is he carried off by the dragon, but there's one picture of him standing in the tree. So he's sort of stuck in the tree. He can't escape. What is his solution? Well, his solution is it's solved for him by Elizabeth. He sort of gets rescued by Elizabeth. And by the end, what has happened with Prince Ronald? Well, by the end, he's upset with how shabby Elizabeth looks, and he's ungrateful. And so by the end, again, she dumps him. And finally, our third character in this story is the dragon. What are his problems? Well, at the beginning, he really doesn't have any problems. But the change that happens is that Elizabeth tricks him in using up all of his energy. And by the end, well, we're sort of unsure of what is going to happen with the dragon. Will he come back? Will he regain his strength? We don't really know. It's a kid's picture book, so the story really was more focused on the end where Elizabeth sort of solves her problem and decides she's done with Prince Ronald and she doesn't need him. So you can see that we have this little chart here where we're thinking through in this short story who our characters were, what the problems they faced, different solutions or changes that happened, and again thinking about how the story is different at the end. So that's something you're going to be working on today, is you're going to be paying close attention to problems. And obviously when you're thinking about problems, those problems are being dealt with by the characters. So you want to keep track of them as they start to multiply, and we're going to help you out by giving you a chart very similar to the one that I just used. How do different characters respond to them? Again, just like I just modeled with you, just like we saw how Elizabeth dealt with the dragon differently than Prince Harold, or Prince Ronald, I think I wrote the wrong name. How do different characters respond to different problems? And finally, how do the problems impact the theme? That's something that we really want to be thinking about. It's really another story element as we get older, is that we don't just have characters setting problem solution. Another element is a theme. So we want to be thinking about that. And also, how do the problems impact the plot? Meaning, do the problems lead the characters down new roads, so to speak? So again, today you're going to be reading another short fantasy text. Well, not another, but yesterday, hopefully you watched a short video, and today you're going to read a short text. Your job today is to pay attention to the setting or the settings. You really want to be thinking about the characters, both major and minor. What kind of people are they, and how do you know? How do they react to the problems they face? And how do they learn, change, and grow? Just like I modeled, thinking about Elizabeth and the problems she faced, and how did she react to them, which was different than how the prince did, and how did she grow. And also, again, we want you to keep track of multiple problems in your stories. And think about the solution if the story has one, and what it says about the characters and the theme. After the story that you read, you're going to be filling out a Google Doc about your thinking. Have a great day, and I hope that you're enjoying this fantasy work.